Ken, this is just part of our little trip back into our youth, if you will. Decided to take a picture of Yankee Stadium, even though it's not the same stadium as it was in the mid-late 40s as we knew it.
Yankee Stadium is jammed for the second game.
Still looks good.
You may remember how many summer afternoons, especially in the when we were in the 7th, 8th grades, first year in high school, that we wound up around the back here going into the bleachers via the PAL and saw many an afternoon game.
The PAL, we were up in the left field stands. No bleachers in the PAL. No, wasn't bleachers. We used to go in the bleachers when we were paying. The freebies were always upstairs.
I'm getting senile.
No, it was always upstairs. Remember? The upper deck.
And we look over then into the left field.
That is correct. That is correct. But when we used to go to bleachers, we used to pay for it.
Just like to have this as a memento for you, to remember where we all grew up and came from.
Why, I wouldn't give that guy anything.
You know, I was really happy for him because, you know, we've been through a whole lot together, and I like to see that happen to an old guy, one of the old guys, you know.
It's just something that that I've grown to love very much.
Does this remind you a bit of Randall's Island, Jack?
Well, it's close. There's a diamond, and we got bases.
Right.
A few geese in the outfield that we
didn't have then.
Right.
Well, things were different back in '47.
Certainly were.
They were the good days,
Certainly
right?
Were.
Oh, yeah! Yeah!
It was our first uniform. We were all of 12 or 13 years of age. And it was a nice warm day. And as we went down onto the field in Randall's Island, we discovered that our great uniforms were made of wool.
All wool.
All wool. It was kind of warm and kind of itchy.
Very itchy.
But that reminded me at the time, too, one of our first games, as we started down there, was, Jack, we had our spikes for the first time.
Right, metal spikes.
Metal spikes. And after the game, the beauty of it was we bought our sneakers. And somebody took your sneakers. So, Jack, you had to walk from Randall's Island over the Triborough Bridge to 138th Street, 138th Street, 152nd Street, in your cleats all the way.
Yeah.
You had the best broken-in cleats I ever saw.
That's for sure.
Really?
That's for sure.
Remember, one of the team we usually had to play all the time as we went down was the Royals. And the time, you tell how it happened. The first time when we...
Well, the way I remember it is we went down one Saturday morning around 9 o'clock to get a field to play in our new uniforms or whatever.
Right.
And we got on this diamond like this. There was nobody around.
Right.
And maybe an hour later, these guys came. They were a couple of years older than us, and they had a permit for the field, and they were about to kick us off until one of them said, "Hey, how about scrimmaging us or something like that?"
Right.
And little did we know at the time, we wound up playing them, I think, every Saturday that summer. They were in the league, we weren't, so it gave us a good...
That was our famous Royals.
Yeah.
Cardinal Hayes High School. Hey, that's a good one. Ken and I had some good years there. 3 good years. 1 year in good council, and then 3 in the main building. Looking good. It's still good. Well, that's what you get in the South Bronx now. Ooh, a little boombox. Also, in Randall's Island, remember, it's not so much for baseball as the time as we played touch football.
was 1946.
Right, and you had Al Batis was our hero, and we played the Bullets.
Yeah.
And the Bullets were from 138th Street, real tough Irishmen, what have you, and it was fantastic.
They had full uniforms.
That is correct.
Full uniforms.
We had a helmet, maybe.
I had a helmet. That's the only piece of equipment I had. Maybe one other guy might have had shoulder pads. Most of them had nothing.
That's right.
Batis had nothing.
That's true.
When we got our 4 downs, it was like, give the ball to Batis.
That's right. Well, remember our great traveling games. We get on the subway at Jackson Avenue, and we go out to Sheepshead Bay, Garrison Beach.
Now here we are back at Jackson Avenue, our roots. Remember the subway. How can we forget it?
Jackson Avenue. Good old station.
And his apartment was
Right across the way. You could, from his apartment, you stand on the platform, you're looking to see what's happening in the bedroom.
We're looking out across the uptown platform right now, and 686, as we knew it, is no longer there. Actually, it looks an awful lot better right now with the trees and grass and a couple of project buildings, at least from a distance. But this is where it all began as far as Pat and myself getting to know Ken in grammar school, spending some time at 686 when he would be doodling in his notebooks, keeping the stats on the Yankees and the Rangers, the day-to-day stats.
From the radio all the time. He had the best statistics going. That's right. When you listen to a ball game, what are you going to do? So he kept the box scores, as you did as if you were watching it on TV. Jackson, hey, you got a new sign. We didn't.
Paulie Castellani's.
Paulie Castellani, we leave at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
We'd play a couple of double headers out there in between, and then we get back on the subway train, take it all the ways home.
Yeah, it's like a 14, 16-hour
That's
day
right.
by the time it was over. Yeah.
That was a good time.
Yeah, certainly was.
Remember Paulie Castellani's father, Mike. Mike, I remember, worked for the post office, had blue pants and always a blue shirt.
Yeah, that's right.
And he'd get up in the mound, he was pitching for us, and he always said he could throw that curveball.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, it was the softest ball that anyone ever threw. The only reason we didn't hit it, we overkilled it.
That's for sure.
That was the problem.
That's for sure. Great bunch of guys playing ball, both baseball, softball, football.
Touch football.
Touch football, stick ball, the whole routine, right? And of course, Ken was always the quarterback or the captain.
Or the captain.
Kept all the stats. And we knew then he'd never amount to anything.
That is, we always said that, not all.
What a
Paulie,
waste.
we thought Paulie Castellani. He used to call it
That was the guy.
25 plays
Exactly,
a quarter,
exactly.
and he knew exactly. Ken didn't know all the time. He said, oh no, we had 10 more to go, and we didn't.
He used to fake it. He probably still
That
is.
is correct.
He probably still is.
He couldn't go for those long passes.
But it was a good time regardless. It was a good time for us to grow up. We had a lot of fun.
Sure was.
And a great bunch of guys.
Right.
Great bunch of guys.
Can you still do it, Jack?
Oh, no problem.
All right, all right. Let's see. That's right.
Like time stood still.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, well, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, suck it right in here. Listen, I think it was better in 1946 and 7. You know?
I agree.
There you
I
go.
agree. Ken had a reputation. We go in. We had the good times. You go to City Island. We do in City Island. You throw a buck on the bar. That was 13 beers. All right. And we always had a bet who was the last one to go to the John. Ken Gorman won hands down. He'd go 3 days without going to the John. He won hands down.
Now here's Trinity Avenue, the site of many of our ball games. Touch tackle, roller hockey, stick ball, kick the can, name it. A wide open street, no traffic. All the amenities of growing up in a ball-playing atmosphere. Look, here's Trinity Avenue today. There's your sign. And as the camera swings north, there is no Trinity Avenue. It's all project housing. The street's been removed. To the left is Caldwell Avenue. Those old apartment houses are still there.
Yeah.
And to the right would be Westchester Avenue.
Wow.
So Trinity Avenue, as we knew it, north of Westchester Avenue, is no longer in existence. from Westchester at least to 156th Street, maybe further up. Okay, Ken, here's a modern day look at St. Anselm's Grammar School and Church.
St. Anselm School.
Where
How about
we
that,
spent
huh?
our 8 years in grammar school together under the expert tutelage of the Dominican nuns from Blauvelt. I see, this is the first time I've been back here myself, to be honest with you. I see on the right of the main entrance to the school is an addition that was put on, taking the place of what we knew as the schoolyard, where we played a lot of ball also during our 8 years in grammar school, at lunchtime and sometimes after school. And then the front of the church looks pretty much the same. And even though I missed it, the reunion they had last year, the 100th anniversary of the church, which was renovated and restored inside, and Pat knows, was absolutely beautifully done. Supposed to look magnificent again, as it did in our time. And lastly, across the street from the school and the church where the convent was, of course, has all changed. That whole block has been taken down, replaced by projects with shrubbery and whatever, and actually it doesn't look too bad. Looks every bit as nice or nicer than as the time we were here. I'm amazed at the number of trees I've seen between Jackson Avenue, Westchester Avenue, Tinton Avenue. I don't ever remember seeing those trees when we were here. It does add a nice flavor to the neighborhood. All right, this is for everyone's benefit. Ken's, myself, and Pat O'Leary.
Concord Avenue, right? Store in the corner.
We're here at the corner of Concord Avenue and 152nd Street, outside of 643 Concord Avenue.
That's
outside
it.
Of 643 Concord Avenue.
That's the same. That's the building.
Looking at it.
You guys lived
Yeah, we lived there. We showed it for.
Where Pat and I grew up.
Yes. Still
We can
remaining.
also see the Jackson Avenue Station. We can also see the Jackson Avenue Station.
Yes.
Streets look a little wider than they were in our time.
Yes.
We can also see on our left how 642 Concord Avenue is no longer there, but then replaced by vegetable gardens. Over at 643 Concord Avenue, the first 4 windows on the left side of the building, on the first floor up, was my apartment, and the 4 windows above that on the second floor were Pat O'Leary's. And of course, the Pendergasts always heard the heavy footsteps of young Pat and old Pat on the floor above us. I kind of remember them keeping us awake some nights, but we'll pass that.
Listen up now, the crowd's not into this thing. Let's don't give them anything to let them get in this thing. Let's take it to the start, get after it for 60 minutes. Now, let's go. Get it.
It's not over.